Orthopedic surgeon and husband for the View host, Sonny Hostin, has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run these women. Tell me why she got her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud, and I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury? Roll it, Nick.
You know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, you know, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance.
What?
And they're talking about threatening him with insurance fraud. I would say you could get about 20 years in prison, so that's a death sentence for him.
What happens when the staunch moral voice of daytime TV suddenly finds herself under the biggest legal cloud of her life? Sonny Hostin has spent years lecturing America on justice, equality, and accountability. Yet this week, she's the one facing a PR nightmare. Her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, is one of nearly 200 defendants in a jaw-dropping $450 million racketeering lawsuit out of New York.
Sonny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit, okay? Now, let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about...
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of the View co-host, Sonny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow.
As ABC scrambles to protect its star's image and viewers reel from the irony, one question hangs in the air. Can Sonny survive a scandal of this magnitude without her reputation and her seat on The View going up in flames? It all began when American Transit Insurance filed a federal RICO suit, naming Dr. Emmanuel Hostin for allegedly performing unnecessary arthroscopic surgeries on taxi, Uber, and Lyft drivers.
She is not implicated in the lawsuit at all, but it's just, I mean, you're married, Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times does she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the show? And then she also, on Trump's win, calling the loss because of uneducated white women that Trump won.
We have to know that. This is accused.
All accused. Yeah, all accused, but he's in the RICO. This is a big RICO case that her husband's...
And then billing the insurer for millions in medical services that never should have happened. The complaint claims the kickbacks were hidden as dividends or cash distributions, transforming a routine medical practice into what prosecutors call one of New York's largest organized fraud conspiracies. In an instant, Sonny Hostin's world shifted from commentary to crisis mode. But the real shocker?
The View co-host, Sonny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries. The insurance firm, American Transit, was then billed in exchange for kickbacks and other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions.
This isn't a small white-collar case. It's a full-blown racketeering storm that makes classic mafia trials look quaint. But this legal earthquake was only the beginning. Investigators allege Dr. Hostin knowingly provided unnecessary medical procedures, filed false claims, and split the spoils with his co-conspirators. According to court documents, American Transit paid out millions for surgeries that drivers neither needed nor received. The lawsuit details how invoices for arthroscopic knee scopes, MRIs, and other healthcare services were rubber-stamped without proper exams.
Sonny Hostin on The View, Tom, basically implicating her husband in this type of a scheme. Play the clip, Rob.
Wait, hold on. Let Sonny get in here.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
And how those funds were quietly funneled back to practitioners as hidden bonuses. With nearly 200 defendants ranging from clinic owners to billing middlemen, the case reads like a crime thriller, complete with coded ledgers, shell companies, and alleged backroom deals. Yet, while prosecutors built their RICO narrative, Sonny's on-air persona was about to collide head-on with real-world scandal. For years, Sonny Hostin has held court on The View as the resident legal eagle, delivering sharp takes on courtrooms, scandals, and political smear campaigns. But now, her own marriage is center stage in a story she never wanted to tell.
This is why we need to seriously have a long, lengthy conversation about healthcare in the United States of America. This is basically it. So Sonny Hostin's husband was basically charged with insurance fraud. What he was doing was doing like fraudulent surgeries and then overcharging the insurance companies for him. This is what this is. So now, of course, he's now being named along with about 200 other individuals in a federal RICO charge case.
Imagine lecturing the nation about integrity only to watch headlines flash that your spouse stands accused of running a multi-million-dollar fraud ring. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a scalpel, particularly when Sonny has repeatedly championed cancel culture and accountability for public figures. Overnight, viewers wondered if she preaches zero tolerance for wrongdoing. How does she respond when her family is under federal microscope? ABC didn't wait long to answer that question. When news of Dr. Hostin's lawsuit exploded, tabloids screamed that Sonny had been canceled from The View, but the reality paints a very different picture.
On The View, and it's always, Tom, what'd you always say? It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said, this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks.
Sonny immediately hit back, calling the suit frivolous and accusing American Transit Insurance of using her fame as a cudgel in a smear campaign. Contrary to the viral chatter, ABC never yanked her seat. No public statement, no promo edits, and she's continued appearing live alongside her co-hosts. Behind the scenes, her legal team labeled the filing an intimidation tactic by a beleaguered insurer, and word is that several defendants have already quietly settled. So much for a PR freefall. Sonny's still front and center, defending her family and setting the record straight. But the story didn't end there. While Sonny continued to hold court on air, behind the scenes the atmosphere was far from routine. Reports suggest that co-hosts gathered privately between segments, weighing whether to lean into the scandal or maintain silence. Some panelists privately praised Sonny's composed rebuttals, noting how she seamlessly transitioned from legal expert to defendant's advocate.
We learned that Sonny's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, was named in a lawsuit filed by American Transit Insurance Company. He's one of 200 people named in this lawsuit, and they are accusing him of filing fraudulent insurance claims and also getting kickbacks from them. And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history, and they're seeking $450 million. And Sonny and her husband, they are fighting back. They've hired legal eagle Mark Garagos to help them fight this case, and they're claiming that this is completely baseless.
Others fretted that ongoing mentions of the lawsuit, even in passing, could overshadow their planned topics. Sources say producers convened quick strategy huddles during breaks, debating script tweaks and segment order to either reinforce Sonny's credibility or subtly shift focus away from legal chatter. Meanwhile, Sonny and her inner circle used these moments to fine-tune their media approach, rehearsing key talking points, coordinating sound bites, and briefing the team on the latest settlement rumors. The result? On-air cohesion with an undercurrent of calculated control, ensuring that even amid a $450 million lawsuit, The View stayed on message and on ratings. Meanwhile, Sonny and her team were plotting their next move.
Of the things that are happening on The View on any given day, Sunny Hostin, who chimed in there at the end, as you know, she is a lawyer, and she's also a racist, and she says crazy things all the time. And once again, she was forced, while live on air, to read a legal note. I want to make a plea to you people. Never fire that woman. I know that you're looking at the thing and you're trying to figure out, okay, maybe Joy's going to age out, or we got to get rid of Whoopi because she's insane, or whatever's going on, but just keep Sunny Hostin on. Just if for no other reason than for her having with that anger, that hatred that she holds for all humanity in her eyes when she has to read those legal notes. It is just perfect.
Within days, the Hostins retained famed defense lawyer Mark Geragos, signaling they're ready to fight back aggressively. Public statements insist the lawsuit is baseless and riddled with errors, promising to expose shoddy reporting and mischaracterizations. Rumor has it they're exploring immediate motions to dismiss large portions of the RICO claims, aiming to cut down the case's scope before it heads to trial. At the same time, Sonny's PR advisors are crafting a carefully worded media tour, interviews that will stress her lack of involvement and reiterate her husband's right to due process. But with 200 defendants and a $450 million figure, cleaning up this mess won't be as simple as a primetime apology. Even if the legal strategy succeeds, the public's verdict isn't guaranteed. So, where does Sunny Hostin go from here? Will she reclaim her seat with triumphant vindication?
Anna went in a different direction, but I love the fact that, Manny is younger and he's
How
very...
much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like 1 year, isn't he?
Like a month or a year or 10 years?
No,
or what?
5 years. It's more than a year.
Oh.
Anyway, it's not about me. I think.
Oh, no.
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He throws the garbage out.
Right.
He does the heavy stuff.
Or become a cautionary tale about the perils of marrying your on-screen persona to off-screen secrets. ABC may decide to quietly phase her out, replacing her moral compass with a less complicated voice. Fans might rally behind her if Mark Geragos delivers a sweeping courtroom win, but skeptics will remember the irony. And for The View, this scandal raises a larger question. Can a show built on outrage survive when the outrage turns inward? One thing is certain, this saga is far from over.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
And the final chapter will be written in court filings, social media verdicts, and the ratings of whatever replaces Sonny's chair. When daytime TV collides with a $450 million fraud investigation, the fallout doesn't happen in a single afternoon. It unfolds in headlines, hearings, and high-stakes media jousting. If you want more deep dives like this, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an explosive update. This is Sasha Spills signing off. I'll see you in the next video.